Hey family, Sugar Naya, and I am back again with another word straight from the Lord, y'all. This word is kind of lengthy, so before I even start, I ask y'all always take every single word back to God Himself and ask for clarity, ask for confirmation. If this is your word, you're going to receive like the utmost confirmation that you've ever received. This is like a specific word, and I don't want y'all to just grasp a word that is not for you in this season. It may be a word for you in the next season or in the season after that, and it may be a season right now for you. It might be a right now Rhema word for you, but I just always like to make sure that y'all are being responsible with every single word that y'all are listening to, and not just listening to it like entertainment, because this is not entertainment, this is spiritual, okay? And it's serious, and this is instruction for somebody or for somebody's, okay? So I'm not sure what this word is going to be titled just yet, but I do know that I have it all on my laptop. It's kind of lengthy, so I hope that whoever this word is for, that you really just receive this word and you take it and you hold it close to your heart, and that you get the instruction and direction and clarity to replace any confusion for you, okay? This is a kingdom marriage word, so whatever God ends up giving me, or whatever God ends up giving me for the title, that's gonna be the title. I don't really have a title yet. I'd have to sit with Him on that before I release this word, but I'm just gonna record it now because He's already given me the word. So I'm just gonna get right into it. Today is August the 24th. It is 6:12, which is confirmation, because like I said before, this is like an answer to somebody out there. And this is your confirmation, because God has been sending you confirmations already. He's been answering you. Even if it's been a slow answer, He's been giving you the things that you need to confirm to you that this is a right now moment for you. This is a right now in your season type of thing. You are in your marriage season. You are in your season to receive the promise now, because you've done the work. And now God is saying that you're being rewarded for going through the testing and the trials, and you persevered through every single thing, even when you were upset, even when God seen the tears that you cried, even when you felt like you were being stretched thin, even when you had to wait on provision, even when you didn't know where you was going next, even though God took you from one place to the next place, and when He took people from you, He put people in your life, and you just alone. Some of y'all alone, some of y'all not alone. Some people can relate, some people can't relate. But anyways, let me get into the word before I get ahead of myself. Okay, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. And I also feel led to mention that this word, God kept showing me the word 333. God kept showing me the number 333. And He also been showing me sevens a lot. And I know that when I see sevens and when I see 333, it's like a completion. And for me, that's a really specific word. I'm not even gonna go into that, but for somebody that may be confirmation, because 333, anytime I see that, and also 33 in the Strong Concordance means to come. But also it reminds me of Jeremiah 33, the promise of restoration. And God has been talking about reconciliation, and He's showing me 344, 604, 604. These are Strong's Concordance numbers. And they also correlate to Bible scriptures. Some of them, it just depends. I feel like that's going to be confirmation for somebody. That's the confirmation right there, okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started in the word. So first off and foremost, Abba is saying that there has been a completion of a cycle, and that you have made it to the end. If you've been seeing if you've been seeing 206, that's confirmation for you, okay? And there's other numbers that mean end as well, but that'll be confirmation. And Abba has taken you through all the purification and the testing that you needed in order to get you to this point of receiving the promise that He always intended for you to have. The testing was never meant to hurt you or break you. It was always meant to build you, to mold you, and to shape you, to make you strong, resilient, pure, and sensitive to the Holy Spirit. Your departure of the old season is now here, and your new season has arrived. You're walking into the new, you're receiving the new, and you're welcoming the new. Not only the promise, but also yourself. The new version of you, the sensitive version of you, the ready version of you, the prepared version of you, the elevated version of you. You've been made pure now. And now Abba says the birthing is imminent. It is upon you. It has to come forth now, because you have to level up. You have to go to the next level. You can't stay where you are. You can't stay in this season. And this next season requires a new level, and you cannot accomplish this next assignment by yourself. Okay? So that's confirmation for somebody. That was the whole point of Him having you in this promise. You were never meant to do this next part alone, and he has a partner for you. He has a person for you that is designed to carry the weight of the next level. You can't do this next part alone because it's too heavy and you need the covering now. Like now, like right now. It's a timing thing with God. I keep saying it's a strategic timing to all of this. You need the protection and you need the leadership. Abba knows your heart. He knows how heavy this is for you. He knows that you've been asking him for help. He knows that you've been crying out to him, asking him. Sorry, y'all. He knows that you've been asking him for help, and he knows that you've been crying out to him, asking him, when is it going to be time for me? He knows that you've been questioning the timing in the season of it all. And he says, beloved, here it comes. Here comes the birthing now. Here comes the promise now. Here comes the man of God that he is sending to you. The prepared one, the ready one, the loving one, the leading one, the one who is going to provide, the one who's going to protect, the one who is going to use to sustain the family and the structure that he's given to you. He needed to make sure that you were responsible enough to carry the promise without fumbling it. Now that you've been through the fire and the testing and you worship through it all, now he can send you the covering. Now he can trust you with the covering because he knows that through the testing and the hard times and the challenging moments, you weren't going to give up and you're not going to get off your knees in prayer, worship, and fasting. He knows that you can be trusted in this season, and that's why you're being elevated. That's why you're being ushered into this next level, in this next season of elevation. You're now being crowned. You're being positioned into the transition. It may feel like there's a lot. It may feel like a lot of plot twists and detours and delays. It may have felt like there was a lot of plot twists, detours, and delays, but that was just to get you positioned in the most strategic way possible so that you wouldn't have any distractions, so that you wouldn't have spiritual warfare while receiving and birthing out the promise. You've been upgraded, beloved. Your spirit is more mature now, and now there's nothing left for you to do except receive everything that Abba has for you. The finances, the family, the husband, the career, the business. The husband who's your covering. All of this is ushering you into the next assignment. The husband will be coming first for some of y'all. And for some of y'all, it may be a home. But you know what Abba has spoken to you about, and you know your specific journey. There is a return that is imminent, that is close, that is near. A return that doesn't take you doing anything, but receiving. And your instruction is to wait on the one that Abba is sending, to wait on the help, to wait on the covering, to wait on the release. And I feel led to pause right here real quick, because I feel like this word is specifically for a few of his daughters. I'm not sure. It could be for men of God, but I feel like this part, what I just said, is specifically for his daughters who needed that confirmation, to know that you've already done what you needed to do in order for God to get your husband to where he needed to be. Okay, beloved? There's nothing for you to do. You don't have to chase. You don't have to pursue. He's sending the Boaz to you. So wait and be still. That is your only instruction right now. You don't need to be doing anything else. If you're still struggling in that area, then you need to take that back to God, because he's saying that if your time is now, beloved, if he's telling you that this is your season, this is your marriage season, that this is time for you to come into covenant, you need to take that back in prayer, because that should be something that you should be at peace with at this point. You should be at peace with not having to control the situation or control the narrative or control your husband or control how things play out. You should be at peace with that right now. And you need to ask God to give you peace, for you to learn how to surrender, beloved. Okay. So the next part, Abba is saying that you're not going to have to make any moves in order for this blessing to come to you. As I just said before, it's going to chase you down this time. This time around, you won't have to reach out. This time around, you won't have to call. This time around, you won't have to beg, because it's finding and locating you exactly where you are. God is going to make sure that you are in position. God is going to make sure that you're not distracted. God is going to make sure that you are fully prepared and that you are not lacking anything as you welcome this promise, as you embrace this promise. This has been long awaited. God is not giving you this promise because you waited a long time. He's giving you this promise because the next assignment is strategically timed. This is all about God's divine timing and his strategy. Because with this next door opening, there is another door that has to be opened following this blessing and following the covenant that he's promised you. There are doors that have to be opened, and the timing is very strategic. So he's sending you the blessing to open up the doors to every other blessing that he's promised you. Don't let what it looks like fool you. Don't let the silence fool you. The silence is ending. God says it's breaking. He's breaking it. He's ending it. The silence was strategic, even when it hurt. Oh my gosh, this word is like a lot, y'all. Because for y'all who know the weight, you know the weight. Like, you know the journey. You know what you've been through. You know the sacrifices that you have to make. You know the tears. You know the aching. You know the weight. For those of y'all who know the weight, you know the weight. Now I gotta find where I left off. The silence was strategic, even when it hurt. Even though at times you felt alone. Even in the times where it didn't make sense. Even in the times you were instructed to do things that you didn't want to do, but you did it anyways, out of obedience. God said he's rewarding your faithfulness. He's rewarding your obedience. He's rewarding your selflessness because you stood firm in your conviction. You stood firm in what he showed you and revealed to you, even when your husband didn't understand. Even when it looked like you were crazy and delusional, you stood firm in the promises of God. He says now is the moment, now is the time where he can reward you with sending you the man that he's always promised you because you've done the work and you stood in it. You stayed in it. And God says that you didn't give up, even when you didn't want to. Let me reread that. You stayed in it and you didn't give up even when you wanted to, but you decided to stay in it. And you stood firm while others gave up, while others disobeyed, while others forfeited their promises. This is why Abba says, for many are called and few are chosen. Because some forfeited the very blessing that he gave them because of their own pride, their own rebellion, their own selfishness, and they leaned on their own understanding, not fully comprehending the magnitude that was attached to the very blessing that they forfeited. But Abba says he's rewarding those in this season who waited and who carried the weight even when it was heavy, who moved into obedience through every transition, even when it looked crazy to everybody else. He's rewarding those who sacrificed blood, sweat, and tears, those who left family, who left homes, and even jobs. Even through the tears and the aching, he says he's seen it all, beloved. He heard every word curse, every single person who gossiped and who tormented you and who tried to project witchcraft upon his children. And he said he's seen it all. And he's rewarding his children now, the ones who stood firm. He's blessing the very ones who were obedient, and he's answering the prayers of those who cried out to him years ago through their prayers. Whew. Prayers that were prayed that you don't even remember that you prayed, but God remembered. And he says, now I can release what I've always had for you now. I can send you the money because I know that you're going to steward the wealth in abundance with grace. He says, now I can send you the husband or wife because I know that you're going to love them how I love them, even through their imperfections, even through the challenging times, even through the surrendered posture in marriage and in partnership, because this isn't just about you. And you had to go on the journey of learning humility, learning humbleness, learning surrendering, and what that truly looked like in a holy sense. You had to learn God's way and not your own way. You had to walk God's path and not the world's path. You had to find your truth, your identity. You had to learn to love yourself before you could ever learn to love your husband. And you had to learn to love your future children through this surrender posture, your family, your kingdom family that God is sending you, as well as the kingdom connections and the future business assignments. It was all shaping you and preparing you for these very things that he's bringing to you. God isn't giving you something that's only for today and it's going tomorrow. The journey the journey has been so long because what he's sending you is forever. What he's sending you is going to last. You built the foundation, and now God is saying, now is the time to unite. Now is the time to be united. Now is the time for the covenant to be fulfilled, to be completed, to be brought to full completion, for you and your spouse to finally cross the finish line and to move into the next assignment. Because there are people attached to you. There are doors waiting to be opened. There are testimonies waiting to be the very thing that someone else needs for a breakthrough in their own faith, to release them from strongholds. And God says, now is the appointed time, beloved. So that was a lot. That was a lot to process. And I pray that for whoever this word was for, that you got what you needed out of this word, that you got the confirmation, that you got the peace, that you got the clarity, and now you feel content in knowing that you weren't wrong. You heard him correctly. You heard him when he said, beloved, now is the time. It doesn't matter what it looks like. He can do it right now. He can do it tomorrow. He can do it next week. All he asking you to do is to get in position to receive it, to receive the word first, because God speaks prophetically. So what you have to do is come into agreement with his word, come into agreement with the prophecy, come into agreement with him telling you that now is the time. You can't be hearing him talking about it's time, it's time, it's time, it's your season, and you're steady sitting there like, okay, but it looks crazy. Okay, God, you saying it's time, but I don't see nothing yet. You have to come into agreement and know that God speaks prophetically. And when he says it is time, you have to come into agreement with the word first before the physical can collide, before the physical manifestation is going to appear in your natural. You know what I'm saying? So yes, y'all, that was the word. That was the whole entire word. Patience, beloved. I feel like that was for somebody. God is saying patience. You've been working on this and he's been working on you with patience for a long time now. And even though he's saying it's time, remember, patience, even in your marriage. Not rushing things, not trying to control things, not trying to take over and lead things when he's asking you to surrender. That was this whole journey. You got to remember what you learned on this journey. It's like God is saying that class is out. You're graduating now. You're no longer a student. You're going into the season where you're going to live out everything that you learned. It's not going to be a test. It's not going to be a final exam at this point. Like, God is saying that you're graduating. Like, you've already been through the fire. You've already been through the testing. You've already been through the pruning, the shaping and molding. And now in the next season, you gotta remember that you're not sipping on milk. Like, you're mature now. You know what I mean? You've matured in Christ now. You're not a baby in Christ. So for whoever this word is for, you're not a baby in Christ. So that should be your confirmation. And you've been on this journey for long enough. This isn't something that you've just been doing for a year now. You've been doing this for a while. And that's why it took a long time, because there were things in you. First off and foremost, he had to take things out of you first, right? When he cleaned you up, there was a step. There was stages of your cleanup process and your purification process. He had to take things out of you first. Maybe that was trauma. Maybe that was generational cycles. Maybe there was things that you grew up seeing. Maybe there was things that you went through when you were little or when you were growing up. But he had to take things out of you first. Those thinking patterns, those habits. He had to take those out of you first. And then he had to introduce you to things. He had to place things, replace those things with godliness, with cleanliness. Because God doesn't like filth. He can't work with filth. He had to clean you up. And there was a process to that cleanup. And you got to remember that this season, this journey, this wasn't only about you. Which is why, even in the meantime, God tells us to stay in purpose, to stay at his feet so that you can get instruction. Because it is about the promise, but at the same time, you got to be in purpose while you wait. That's why some of y'all are still waiting. Because y'all not in purpose. Y'all not doing the work. You have to do the work. There's no cutting corners on this journey. Sadly, because if that was possible, a lot of us would have already been doing this. A lot of people would have already been in their marriage seasons. A lot of people would have already been doing what God told them long ago. There's no cutting corners. You got to do the work. And you got to allow God to take his time with you. It's like marinating chicken. It's like marinating meat. It's like grilling. You can't rush it. The food got to be fully cooked before you can serve it. You know what I'm saying? The feast is here. The feast is here. And those who have been prepared, those who did the work, those who are truly called to this journey, you're going to see the fruitfulness. Because a good tree bears good fruit. And bad trees bear bad fruit. So whoever needed to hear that. And that's just the truth. And this next season is going to require you to step it up. And God is requiring more from you. And that's even for me, y'all. God has had me in a season where he's been having me speak up. Or he's been having me not settling for less. Because it's not the season to be just settling for anything less than the standard. And God takes this personally. When God gives you provision, he's looking at every single thing that you do. Whether you're fumbling the provision, or whether you're stewarding well over it and you're taking everything back to him. You're sowing. You're doing what you needed to do to multiply. You're doing what you need to do so that you can make sure that you are in position to receive and also to give. Because if God is giving you an abundance of wealth, he wants to make sure that you have the right heart posture. He can't give that to anybody. He can't give that to anybody. He got to make sure that you can be trusted. And even with your husband, this comes with legacy. This comes with fruitfulness. This comes with multiplication. He has to trust you. He got to trust you, and he got to trust the other person involved. It's not only about you. We got to remember that, y'all. We got to remember that. And another thing is, I want to mention this because I've gotten emails and I don't like what I'm seeing in my emails. I'm going to be really honest. And I don't really talk about this as much, but I'm not liking what I'm seeing because, for one, just in a respectful tone, a lot of y'all are new here, which I understand, but also I want to mention this because out of respect for my future husband, I don't need people in my emails telling me that God has told them that I'm their wife. I don't like that. And it doesn't sit well in my spirit because just out of respect, I know my journey and I know what God has told me. And I'm not accepting that because I know what God has told me. And I know what I've been waiting on. I know what work I've done. I know what I've been through. I know my journey. And I know what God promised me. So do not feel comfortable enough to tell me in my emails or send me anything less than a prayer, a real genuine prayer, or whatever it is. Do not come in my emails being disrespectful, because that's considered to be disrespectful to me when I've been waiting on and walking this journey of kingdom marriage out. I'm a kingdom wife. I'm not naive. I test the spirit with everything, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. Do not come in my emails being disrespectful. If it's not respectful, if you don't like what I have to say, if you don't like this ministry, if you don't like how I talk, if you don't like what I put out, the content that I put out, this is not just for entertainment. This is me doing business. You can unsubscribe. If you don't like it, you can unsubscribe. I'm not here for the followers. I'm not here for validation. I'm here for ministry, and I'm here for purpose. And if you don't like it, you can unsubscribe, and you don't have to watch me. Simple. And that's the last time that I'm going to say that, because I've said this before, and I just don't like what I'm saying in my emails. You know what I'm saying? Just be respectful, period. If you want people to respect you, you respect other people. You treat people how you want to be treated, period. You know what I'm saying? So that's the word. That's the word. This season is the season where we step it up. This is not time to be playing. It's not time to be playing games with anybody. I don't care if it's in the Christian community. I don't care what community. I'm God's child first. I'm not a part of anything. I'm not a part of no group. I know that I'm God's child, and I know that he speaks to me, period, point blank. This is not a fan club. This is not entertainment. This is not a TV show. This is real life with people going through real things, with people on real journeys, with people actually going through stuff to get to what God needs them to get through. We don't have time for foolishness. So do not get in my emails or in my DMs with foolishness or in my comment section, because you will get blocked, okay? Now, on another note, if you like the word, if you received a good word, y'all comment in the comment section and let me know. If there's any testimonies attached to this word, I would love to see those in God's timing. Please test the spirit. Do not send me nothing if he does not allow y'all to send it, okay? Because I want y'all to protect y'all promises, okay? Don't get in the comment section telling everybody your business. You got to protect, because you don't want the warfare that comes with other people seeing you spilling out everything in your own personal life, okay? I don't like when y'all do that, because I want y'all to protect what God is doing in y'all lives. You know what I'm saying? I protect what God is doing in my life, and I want to be the example in my ministry. That's been my thing from day one, being the example and leading by example in this ministry. So if you feel led, if God leads you to testify, I would love to see those testimonies. Only if he leads you to, okay? Just because I know that when y'all do testify, that's my confirmation that, you know what I'm saying, I'm on the right path. You know what I'm saying? That's like my confirmation. Even though I know that I hear from God, it's still like, okay, God, like, you know, that word was obviously for a handful of people or a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel led, I would greatly appreciate it. Let me know let me know in the comment section, or let me know in the emails, you know. And if Abba leads you to sow into my journey, my personal journey that he's been having me walk on for some months now, I would greatly appreciate it if you want to sow into the ministry, or even if you wanted to sow into this word. If you wanted to sow a seed, I would greatly appreciate it if Abba leads. And y'all, also, you can also attach your prayer requests to any seed that you sow. It doesn't matter the amount. I don't care if it's $1. I don't care if it's a cent. Like, I'm going to pray over it like I do with every other seed, okay? And I guess that's all, my beautiful people. That's going to be all for today. I love y'all with the love of Christ, and I will be back when Abba sends me back. I'm praying over y'all reconciliations. I'm praying over every single restoration attached to this channel. If y'all have any prayer requests, you can send it to my emails. Make sure to keep it respectful. That's all I ask. I come on here and not be respectful. I just ask that y'all be respectful. And I know that some people come on here, they're not even sent from God. So, like, that's why I be having to tune out and filter out a lot of stuff. So if I don't respond back to the prayer request, just know that I'm going to pray over the prayer request. If you're really genuine, if you're really sent by God, and you're really serious, and you're really on this ministry genuinely, you know what I'm saying, God is gonna make sure that I get to that, you know what I'm saying, and he's gonna make sure that I see what I need to see and pray over what I need to pray over. This season is it's really sacred, you know what I'm saying? It's really sacred, and I have to be sure that I'm keeping my ear open and my eyes open to see, to feel, and to discern, you know? So without further ado, I'm gonna stop talking. I love y'all with the love of Christ, and I'll be back when Abba sends you back. Peace out, y'all.